Okay, then. Oh, there was an ant just crawling up my leg. How great is that? It must have been on my mat. Okay. All right, you can all hear me okay, right? Wave your hand. Okay, good. All right. Since my earbud went flying, I thought I should check. Okay, so let's come to sit in a comfortable Sukhasana, an easy seat. Sukha in Sanskrit means easy or happy. So I like that idea. And asana is seat. It literally translates to seat, but it has come to mean all poses. So it's easy pose, easy seat, happy seat. Okay. So I'm going to, we're going to ignite our inner warriors today. And we're doing that because, you know, we need to do this every so often to get our warrior selves energized. And the warrior poses are called Virabhadrasana 1, 2, and 3, the main poses. And Vira means hero, Bhadra means friend. So it's your friend, yourself, so what it translates to really is your inner warrior, your warrior self. And so we're going to be exploring our warriors today and getting them ignited. And there's a short story, well, there's actually a very long story, I'm going to shorten it, of how the warriors came to be. And Lord Shiva, who is said to be the first yogi, he was in a battle with his father-in-law. The two of them hated each other. They did not get along. They were arch rivals. And his wife was in the middle. And so there was this festival, this very important festival, and Parvati, that's his wife, was not invited, nor was Shiva. So Shiva and his wife were, and this was a disgrace. This was a major insult. So Parvati was so overcome with grief that she killed herself, threw herself into a fire. And out of his anger and rage, Shiva brought forth the warriors to go after her father. And warrior 1 rose from the earth. Shiva threw the oils from his body to the earth, and up came warrior 1. And then to target your enemy, you need a scout. You need someone to size up the situation, and that's warrior 2. And then warrior 3, you're charging into battle. So he killed his wife's father, but it did not bring his wife back. He did this out of rage and vengeance. So he was able to call upon his fellow gods for help, and was able then to bring her back, and he brought his father-in-law back too. The epic stories go on and on and on. I'm giving you the really Cliff Notes version, but the important thing here for what I see here in this story is the idea of how we have the answer to meet all of our challenges already inside ourselves, because Shiva was able to fix the problem without having to kill anybody, without having to have horrible consequences. All he had to do is look inside himself, call upon his divinity to solve the problem. So with that in mind, close your eyes and focus on your breath. Take a deep breath in and a long, slow exhale. And then we're going to do Ujjayi breath. So you do that by closing off all of your possible air supplies. So you close your mouth tightly. I put my tongue at the behind my teeth to further keep anything but the air coming through your nose. You breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. Deep, deep breaths. And you should be able to hear the sound of your breath, Ujjayi breath, sometimes called the ocean sounding breath. So close off your throat so that you breathe only through your nose. And you can hear your breath. And the reason this is important, because this is the warrior's breath. It allows you to focus. If during a class, there's a pose that is very challenging, this breath comes in handy because it focuses your attention. So after your next exhale, come to your natural rhythm of breathing and slowly open your eyes. So we're going to start our practice on our backs. So come all the way down on your back. Okay. And the first thing we're going to do is stretch. So send your arms, both your arms overhead, back behind you, and your feet in the opposite direction. So allow your body to stretch, stretch, stretch. Big, long stretch. And then release it. And one more time. Pull in opposite directions and then relax. Leave your arms where they are overhead. Bring both feet to the mat. Thread your right foot behind your left foot and bring your knee down to the mat, your right knee. You're going to reach with your left arm for your right foot, which should be near your left hip, behind your left leg, your left foot. If you cannot reach your foot, just reach for it, or lift your right knee and lift it up a bit, and maybe you can reach your foot a little bit more easily. Otherwise, if you still can't reach it, just send your left arm straight out toward your foot. Your right arm still is alongside your right ear. Your left knee should be pointed to the ceiling. You're going to push into your left foot, lift your right hip, send your right arm away, behind you, away for this wonderful hip and full body stretch. And then bring your hip down to the mat. And I'll do that once more. Lift your left hip, stretch your arm, push into the mat with your left foot, your left knee to the ceiling, and release. Now switch, you unthread your foot, both feet flat on the mat. Thread your left foot behind your right. Place your left foot down on the mat. Make an attempt to hold on to your left foot with your right hand, or come close to it, or lift your knee to get closer. And then send your left arm alongside your left ear back behind you. Right knee to the ceiling. Step into your right foot, lift your right hip, and stretch your left arm away, and then release it. One more time, lift your right hip and release it. That lovely stretch helps to open up your psoas muscle, which is your hip flexor, among everything else in your body. Okay. Bring both knees into your chest and roll from side to side. Come to center. Take your right hand, your right knee into your hand, so you're hugging your right knee. You're going to send your left leg straight out along the mat. You're going to let it hover above the mat for just a little bit. And you're going to push your left foot towards the wall opposite it, as if you wanted to stand on it. Then you'll bring your left knee back into your chest, switch the holding. You hold your left leg now, send your right leg out, hovering over the mat. And you're going to do this 4 more times, twice on each side, at your own pace, alternating from side to side. And then you'll bring, when you're done, you'll bring both your knees into your chest. You're going to send your legs to the ceiling, your toes reaching for the ceiling. And you're going to scissor your legs. So your right leg comes towards your nose, your left leg goes in the opposite direction, and then reverse, going back and forth in a scissoring motion. And then pause, bring both your legs together. Now, bring your right leg a little closer to your nose, send it across your left leg, and then open and send it behind your left leg. So you're scissoring here in the opposite direction. So one leg in front of the other, going back and forth. So we're opening up our hips here, hip joint. And then bring both legs together, place both feet on the mat. Extend your left leg along the mat. Your foot is flexed, your leg is active. Lift your right foot so that your leg is at a 40, at a right angle. It's at a right angle, 90 degrees, yeah. And you can lift your foot up a little bit more so that it's a little bit larger than 90 degrees, but you want to try your best to keep it at 90 degrees. Why? Because this is warrior 1 leg. Send your arms overhead back behind you. Warrior 1, lying down. Lift your arms, lift your head and shoulders. Send your arms straight back behind you. Imagine you're standing on that wall in front of you, warrior 1, and then bring it back. Bring your foot back down to the mat. Send your arms straight out from your shoulders in a T shape. Then open your right knee out to the side and send your foot out so that you have another right angle with your right leg, so that you have a warrior two stance. Send your left leg off the mat. For warrior two, look over your right hands. So your right knee is bent, your right foot is flexed, your left foot is flexed, as if you were standing on the wall in front of you. Notice how square your shoulders are. Keep this in mind for when we're standing doing this. This is what you want to achieve in your standing weight bearing warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Bring your right foot back to the mat. Bring your left foot to the mat. Release your arms alongside your body. Lift your left knee so your shin is parallel with the mat. Extend your right leg. So we're doing warrior one on this side, both arms alongside their respective ears. So your foot can again be a little higher than your knee, though I prefer a right angle for our warrior one. On an inhale, you're going to lift your head and shoulders, send your fingers back behind you. And then release. Place your left foot on the mat. Open your left knee out to the side. Widen your leg to a right angle for a warrior two leg. Slide your right leg off the mat. Arms reach straight out from your shoulders in a T shape. Look over your left shoulder, using your arm like a telescope so that you can size up your challenge. Bring your left foot to the mat, bring your right foot to the mat. Arms release alongside your body. Extend one leg and then the other. And we're going to just take a couple of breaths here. Place both feet on the mat. Extend your right leg up, send your right leg up to the ceiling. Extend your left leg along the mat. So you're standing on the ceiling with your right foot. You're standing on the wall opposite your foot with your left foot. You're going to send your arms once again alongside your ears, back behind you, for a warrior three. So take a look at your right foot, the one that's reaching to the sky. Make sure it's flat, make sure it's flexed, and then slide your ankle over your hip, directly over your right hip. Because if you were standing in warrior three, just like this, if you were upside down now, you would want all of your weight. This is the leg that's going to support your weight. Release your right leg back down to the mat. Lift your left leg. Again, it's standing. You're standing on the ceiling. Arms stay overhead. Make sure your leg is rotated so that your pinky edge side of your foot and your leg doesn't go all the way over to the left. You want all 5 toes looking at you. You want perfectly aligned. So don't forget, this is going to support your weight. So you want to make sure you have a firm foundation. Bend your left knee. Send both legs straight out on the mat. Bring your arms down by your side. Step on your feet. Roll over onto your hips in a fetal position. And then make your way up to hands and knees. And we're only going to stay here for a moment so that we could do some cats and dogs to release our spine. So your wrists under your shoulders or a little bit before if that angle is too hard on your wrists. Your arms are rotated so that the crease of your elbow is reaching for your index finger. And you'll begin your cats and dogs by curling your spine towards the mat on an inhale, sending your heart forward. Exhale, arch your spine to the sky, push the mat away with your hands. Inhale, dog. Exhale, cat. Continue at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling in your cat. And then the next time you're in a cat spine, send your hips towards your heels for child's pose. Keep your arms overhead, stretched out in front of you. And then you'll slide your hands to your knees, come to stand on your knees. All right. I'll go back this way. So let's stretch our quads and our hamstrings. Send your right leg forward. If you have blocks, what I forgot to mention to you, so I'm going to pause here for a moment. You don't need this right now, but later you'll need a chair. If you don't have blocks, if you have blocks, then you don't need a chair. All right. Okay, where were we? All right, we were going to stretch hamstrings and quadricep muscles. All right, our thighs, front and back. So you're over your supporting knee. On an inhale, you're going to slide your hips forward. On an exhale, you're going to straighten your right leg and bow over your leg any amount. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, straighten your leg, and your nice long straight torso bows over a little bit. Inhale, exhale. Bring your right leg back and we'll switch sides. So now you want your left leg out in front of you and heel toe your foot away. Remember that the farther away you walk your foot, the more of a stretch you will have on your right quadricep muscles, your front thigh muscles. So let's inhale and slide our hips forward. Exhale, straighten your legs, bow over any amount. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, up straight, and slide your leg back and bring your knees back together. All right. All right, now we're going to do our warriors on our knees. So we did it on our back, we're going to do it on our knees, and then we'll do them standing. Send your right leg in front of you like it was before. Now remember when you were on your back and I said have your leg at a right angle, it can be, or you can walk your foot a little bit more forward. What you never want is your knee to go past your ankle, all right? We're walking it away a little bit because I want us to better mimic how it will be when we're standing. When we're standing, your left thigh is at an angle, more of an angle. Send your arms back behind you. Now remember, warrior one came up from the earth, arms alongside your ears, look up between your hands for a bit of a back bend. Send your arms back behind you, interlace your fingers. Inhale, exhale, bow forward for a humble warrior. Bow your head down. And then unfold, release your arms. Heel toe your right foot over to the right so that your heel will be opposite, your right heel will be opposite your left knee. And you're going to walk I'm just going to move over a little bit so I'm on the mat. All right. So walk your leg away. And once again, let's try to get a bit of an angle in the left leg. So you want your knee over your ankle, right? Or behind it, but never forward of it. Now, what I like about doing this on our knees is that it's easier to rotate your torso in line with your mat edge. Arms in a T shape. Look over your right fingers, sizing up your challenge. Take a look at your knee. Make sure that it does not collapse in to protect your knee. Make sure your knee tracks over your middle toe or the middle of your toes. Because I know my toes are a little wonky. So there we go, warrior two. Release your arms and bring your leg back, and we will do all of that on the other side. All right, so left leg comes out in front, walk it away. All right, you have that nice angle in the back. Swing your arms back behind you, bring up that warrior from the earth. This time you're going to say a prayer like all warriors do as you look upward. Inhale, send your arms back behind you, interlace your fingers. Inhale, exhale, come forward with a flat back, as flat as possible, to show humility. Bow your head. It's also called devotional warrior, Bhakti Virabhadrasana. And then come up. Release your arms. Heel toe your right leg over so that your left heel is opposite your right knee. Right. Make sure that leg does not collapse in. Make sure your shoulders are square before you extend your telescopes and size up your target. What do you need to do to master this challenge, to meet it fully? Release your arms down, walk your foot back, and bring it back together. So how do we do warrior three? Right. Send your arms up alongside your ears. So the idea is to have a long, straight torso from your fingertips to your sits bones. And as long as that stays straight, the angle it's on is less important. So you can come just this little bit. You can send your hips farther back behind you to come a little bit more, or not. This may be as far as you go. Or you can come all the way down to your chair with your hips on your heels. And then you can possibly bring your spine down with you. Do not push. Lift up and release. All right. And let's come to stand. And we're going to take a moment when you're fully erect in your mountain pose, your long, tall mountain. Just to breathe and feel, just to feel. Yeah. Roll your shoulders, let your arm, crown of your head reaching up proudly. Let's salute the sun. Inhale, gather all that energy from that glorious sun, bring it to your heart. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. All right. So let's begin with warrior one. Before we do, I'm going to ask you, if you do not have blocks, to get a chair, or you might have a table, a coffee table or something nearby that you can use instead of the back of the chair. So we're going to use that for support in our warrior three, right? Okay. So let's start with warrior one. Mountain. You're going to step back with your right leg. You're going to reach with your arms far behind you. You're going to heel toe your left foot a little bit more forward if you would like a longer warrior, wider, whatever that dimension is, from foot to foot. And you're going to bring that warrior up from the earth, your warrior self, ready for battle. This, you know, from any sporting event you have ever been to or watched, the sign of victory, your arms straight up to the sky. All warriors say a prayer before battle. Look up or not, or look straight ahead at your drishti, your focal point, to help you keep your balance. Send your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Open up your brave heart. Inhale, exhale, come forward. Devotional or humble warrior. Push in to the mat, come back up. Release your arms. Now you can come out of this pose and step into warrior two, or you can just step your back foot so that the arch or heel is opposite your left heel for warrior two. Remember to keep what we did when we were seated, right? Hips are even when you're on your knees, right? So let's see if you can get your hips even. Let's see if you can square your shoulders. Your knee does not collapse. T-shaped arms look over your left arm, sizing up your challenge. Your solution, bring your right hand to your right thigh, peaceful warrior. Release, send both feet forward and come to stand again. So we are going to go directly to our warrior three. If you have blocks, you can use your blocks, and I'll just show you for those of you who have. You're going to place your blocks under your shoulders, right? So you'll slide your shoulders over the blocks, your feet are under your hips, and you send your leg out. You want to rotate that leg, that right leg a bit, so that your knee is pointing to the mat. And then bring that foot back down and lift the other leg. For warrior three. Now we'll do the same thing with the chair. I'm going to place my chair on the mat so it doesn't slide. Send your arms out, straight out from your hips. Bring them overhead and place the palms of your hands on the seat of the chair. Your ankles under your hips, and it's hard to tell, right? So you have to get the feel for it, right? Again, this could be a coffee table, could be any surface that has some height. Let's start with the right leg coming straight up. And if your leg doesn't go as high as your hip, that's perfectly fine. Let it go as high as it wants to. Your shoulders over your wrists. Remember that left leg is your support. And bring your foot, your right foot down. Let's do the other side. Lift your left leg, knee pointing to the mat. Shoulders over wrists. And then release. So we're going to do one more version of this, because warrior three is the most challenging of the warriors, right? Because you're flying, right? You got one leg only on the earth. Okay, so this is my favorite one because it puts you into warrior 3. So imagine what the pose you'll be in is the classic warrior 3. You're just going to be using the back of the chair to help you to give you support. So bring your hands to the back of the chair, walk back so that your ears come between your arms. You're in an L shape. Yep, you're in an L shape here. Right. So you can stretch your fingers out so that you're just have the palms of your hands or the heel of your hands on the back of the chair. Then lift. You can bend your left knee a little bit and then lift your right leg up hip high or any height in between the floor and hip high. This is warrior 3. What we did on our backs. Bring your right foot down and let's do that on the left side. Again, any amount you can soften that right knee. You know, especially if there's anybody in here who has osteoporosis, osteopenia, you want to soften the knee a little bit. No locking of joints. And then release, oh my, if you haven't already. Okay. We spent a lot more time in Warrior 3 because we do 1 and 2 often in our classes, but don't do it a lot in, we don't do Warrior 3 much. So let's come down. I just realized it's kind of late. I'm taking you over a bit. Just cutting in a little bit to our meditation and come back down onto your back and just breathe. Just breathe. Sorry, the time got away from me. So if you need to leave right at 10, you can go right to Shavasana for a couple of minutes. Otherwise, send your right leg up, send your left leg up towards the ceiling for our final inversion, which helps us to cool. It slows our heartbeat. It allows us to cool down. It drains excess fluids from our legs. It regulates our blood pressure. It's a wonderful pose. Then bend your knees. Extend one leg, extend the other, come into a Shavasana. take a deep breath. Roll your head from side to side. Make gentle motions with your hands and your feet. Send your arms overhead, back behind you, your feet in the opposite direction for that same full body stretch that we started the class with. And then bring your knees into your chest, hug them, and roll from side to side. Come to center, release your knees, and roll over on to whichever side you prefer to come in to a fetal position. And bring yourself up to sit. And make yourself ready for a meditation. Ground your body. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Bring your awareness to your heart. To your heartbeat. Feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. And we are going to begin our loving kindness meditation with the focus on ourselves. So with your attention at your heart, say these words to yourself first before we begin the loving meditation, so that you can bring your attention to you, to yourself. I am. That's it. Just I am. I am perfect. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and in mind. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I be at ease, happy, and free. Coming back to your heart, bring to mind all those people in your life who are dear to you. those you love unconditionally, all the way to those who are just acquaintances, everyone in your life. See them before you. And say this to yourself: I feel, I feel, I feel love. May you be filled with loving kindness. Speak to these people you love. May you be well in body and in mind. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be at ease, happy, and free. Now bring to mind those in your life who have hurt you in some way, with whom you just simply do not get along, whose opinions are different, who is uncomfortable to be around. Because these people need this blessing the most. But at first say, I see you, I hear you, without judgment. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in body and in mind. May you be at ease, happy, and free. Now bring to your mind's eye everyone all around the world, people from every walk of life, every color, every creed, every choice. See children playing in the street, see people in conversation, see everyone, see animals and other creatures. I embrace. I embrace. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be well in body and in mind. May we be safe from inner and outer dangers. May we all be at ease, happy, and free. Bring your hands to your heart. Feel your heart beating. I am. I feel. I see and hear. I embrace. Release your hands and slowly, very slowly open your eyes to take in the light. And I thank you all so much for being with me. And I have one final wish for you, that you never let your anger turn to hatred, or your hatred turn to vengeance, that you always look inside yourself to find the answers to your greatest challenges. Thank you so much for being with me today.